Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Born of Levi, and you're now tuned in to the Born of Levi experience. I want to thank you all for coming back to the channel and coming checking out this page. And boy, do we have a treat for you all today. We're going to be talking about a topic that had the internet going crazy this past weekend, man. Right? I'm talking about an interview that went down with Kanye West, formerly known, but now is known as Ye, right? But we're going to talk about it. But before we get into the topic, I need you all to please kindly hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications when I'm dropping new things, and please hit the like button too, right? I'm trying to grow this page, and you guys are gonna help me do it. So if you like the content that you get in here, please hit all those buttons. I mean, all of the buttons, right? But we're gonna talk about it, man. So this past weekend, man, everybody, especially in the Hebrew community, was, posting sound clips and videos of Kanye's West's latest interview, right? With Noriega and them, right? So I took the liberty to actually, I didn't say nothing right away. Right. I didn't comment on nobody's posts or, what I'm saying, or whatever the case is. I just, let people post their posts. And I went in and I actually went back and listened to the interview, because I wanted to assess what he was saying. I wasn't just gonna jump out the window and just be like, yeah, Kanye West is in the truth. Right. But from, what I've gathered, right, from that interview is that Kanye is not in the truth, but he knows of the truth. Right. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. But I took the liberty to dissect this interview. Right. So I took my time, man. I really took my time to go into this. And, I took certain clips or sound bites, which is fair use. I got to put that out there. Disclaimer. Right. That I want to share, and I want to talk about these things. And what he was saying was very interesting. Right. And very important to people who are, what the term is now is woke, right? But, people who's aware, who's not asleep. So I want to take the liberty to go into it, man. I believe that Kanye West is a genius, okay? Because, during the whole thing when he was out there with wearing the red hat, the Trump hat, a lot of people was calling him crazy. He got checked into the hospital. He came out with blonde hair. Like, I don't even know why he went that route, but it starts, the more you listen to him, the more it starts to make sense of why he do the things that he do. In his defense, he feels like, I'm a billionaire. I don't gotta live by y'all standards. I don't have to, right? But I almost went with the crowd and said, yeah, man, that brother crazy. But is he really crazy, or is he a genius, right? Or is he strategically playing the game? And I'm leaning more so to him strategically playing the game, right? Which is beautiful. It's brilliant, right? But I'm not going to sit here and just say, yes, Kanye West is in the truth. And I'm not. And then after this show, go on his page and type Kwam Yasharala, Shabbat Shalom, and, the Most High hears you. And, what I'm saying? Praise the Most High, brother. I'm not about to do that, because, I'm not going to be too quick to just credit somebody based off of, something that they're saying. But let's go into it, man. I really want to get into this, man. I want to start playing some of the sound clips, because listen, from the outside looking in, it just looks like, all right, he's with us, right? But is he really with us? Or is he just playing a game? Or is he really just dropping things so that way people could just be aware of the movement? Because, you don't judge a tree by its fruit. Well, excuse me. You judge a tree by its fruit, right? So that's basically how we have to look at this situation. We have to judge Kanye based off of the fruit that he puts out after this interview, right? But what we cannot take away from this interview is all the gems that was dropped, right? So for instance, like, let's listen to this. This is like one of the first sound bites that people were using, or the clips that people were using to show that Kanye is in the truth. But I believe that he knows of the truth, and I believe he's starting to make himself aware of this whole Hebrew Israelite movement that people are calling a movement, but it's not a movement. It was just basically us coming back to our nationality. That's just basically what it is, right? So let's listen to the first soundbite, right? Let's listen to this clearly, man. Let's listen to Kanye.
And by the way, we blood of Christ. We blood of Moses. We're not just a color in a crayon box. And if we knew that, who we really were, we'd treat each other differently. We'd treat ourselves differently. So when you say, I'm black and I'm proud, like, but of what? What concept are we understanding? They say, go see the African History Museum. Why do they start when the boats came? Why don't they start with the drums?
When we was kings.
No, they don't want it, but we are kings. But the 400 years doesn't have to deal with slavery. It has to deal with the Bible. It has to deal with us being disobedient to God.
Right.
And that's why we farm land that isn't our own. Record labels, the NBA, Hollywood. These boys be scared. They be sitting there. Michael B. Jordan be telling my cousin, like, man, I want to do what Ye do, but I'm just, I'm right here.
Wow. You heard that? Yo, he said a lot of key points in that. And it sounds like to me that brother was reading Deuteronomy 28. And if you have not read Deuteronomy 28 after this show, go and read Deuteronomy 28. Because everything that he said in that short little statement is Deuteronomy 28, saying that how we were disobedient to God. We walked away from his commandments. Like, look, real simple. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So it seems to me that Kanye West is aware of the curses that occur for our disobedience to our God. And he's making the distinction because not everybody in the world is under that curse. He said, us, we the blood of Christ. We the blood of Moses, understanding that we come from that bloodline and we're the people who suffering. And he said something that was very key in that soundbite. He said, Michael B. Jordan be telling him like, yo, man, I wish I could do what you're doing right now. Is it that Michael B. Jordan is afraid to speak up, right? Can we say that Michael B. Jordan knows, right? He knows of the truth, but he's afraid to speak up, like how Kanye West is speaking up, how Kendrick Lamar was able to speak up, and so much other famous brothers and sisters who are speaking up and letting us know that, we are from the 12 tribes of Israel, right? That was a very powerful first thing. And you can imagine when everybody heard that, it went crazy, right? Automatically, Kanye's in the truth, right? I believe, the Most High is working with that brother for whatever purpose, because we all are the Most High's pieces, right? We all are his pieces, right? But we all get used in different forms and different fashions and for different purposes and different uses, right? Let's listen to the next sound clip that Kanye West was actually talking about, right? He went in more, right? Listen.
In hospitals today, they would tell a black mother that the baby not finna come out today because we are inside. Us as 12 tribes of Judah, as a member of the Hebrew people, we are still inside of our genocide. 50% of all black deaths a year is abortion. And
black deaths?
Black deaths.
Wow. You hear what he said? First of all, I want to correct him. He said we are the 12 tribes of Judah. Well, we know if you study the Bible, if you actually read, we're actually the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Because Judah was actually one of the tribes. So we're not the 12 tribes of Judah. We're actually the 12 tribes of Israel. But what he's saying that we're still in our genocide. So he's also pinpointing that there is a war against the chosen people of depopulation. And he mentioned that 50% of black deaths is attributed to what we know as abortion, right? So we got to understand that, our sisters, when they go into these clinics and abort their babies, they're actually adding to the numbers of black deaths. That's deep in itself. And the thing is, our sisters were coerced into this kind of behavior because of what the name that he mentioned, Margaret Sanger. A lot of people don't even know who that lady is. Y'all gotta look up that lady. That lady was a pure blood Satanist. Like, I mean, if Satan had a face, or if Satan had a sister, it would have been her, right? And she was in league with the KKK, as he just stated, right? And she's behind of what we know as Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is a satanic organization. There's no other way for me to put it. Satanic, right? And it's behind it's one of the leading causes of black people's the rise or the numbers of black deaths. Right. A lot of our sisters don't even know that when they go into these clinics, they're actually partaking in a ritualistic sacrifice. Right. Just to say that. And it seems that Kanye is aware of that. That brother's been studying. And when you actually listen, I'm going to play more. But when you actually listen to what this brother is saying, he is studying and he's learning and he's very smart. And what I like about this interview so much, no matter how much ways Noriega tried to sway him from a topic, he always finds a way to bring it back to the topic that we have chosen people. Like, look at this next soundbite for it. This one right here was very brilliant. Look at what he says. Look how he compares God's chosen people to a product. Look at this.
We are God's ultimate iPhone. We are God's favorite creation. So if Steve Jobs was God, we would be his iPhone. Right. And we are simply programmed. And we go with the program, and some are unprogrammed, and some of the unprogrammed are people who they say are crazy, or people who go off the rails, right. People who end up homeless. And the program are the people who go with the program. Right. And you have this thing, like when I said,
listen, did you guys hear that? He said that we're like, if God chosen people was a thing, we would be the iPhone for the Most High. That would be the favorite, the chosen piece. And is what he's saying not biblical? So he's basically saying that we're the chosen people. We're God's favorite piece, which is the iPhone. You know, everybody use the iPhone, right? So he's saying that we're God's chosen piece, which is the iPhone, and we're programmed in a certain way to be used by him. And if you can't be used, you're not following the original program that was put in you. Look at this. What he's saying was scriptural. Look, Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. So what Kanye just said was Deuteronomy 7:6. So could it be that Kanye was reading this actual verse before he was able to come up with this analogy? So that's what I'm saying. Kanye knows of the truth, but is he in truth? Only the fruits of his labor will be able to tell me, all right, this brother is in truth, right? But he knows, right? Listen to this. It also says, God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So now, is Kanye on to something? I believe that he is, right? Because what he's saying, I can dissect what he's saying and find it in scripture. So that it's clear to me that this brother is reading scripture. He's being very attentive, and him being a part of that life, a part of that industry, he can clearly see the scriptures play out in his life. Being, when the Most High said, what? Thou shalt not be the head, thou shalt be the tail. There's only a certain plateau that or level that our people will get before they plateau, right? But he's trying, and it seems that the way he's speaking, he believes that he can transcend that, right? But we're gonna continue to listen, right? Because what he's saying is very brilliant, and I don't know, man. I feel like this brother is on to something, man. And matter of fact, let me stop talking because I'll let him talk and then I'll just break it down. Because what this brother, I also took this clip too as well. Listen to this clip because he's so brilliant in always bringing it back to who we are. Listen to this.
As a black barber, as a African American, as a blood of Christ, as a Hebrew, see, I'm telling y'all what it is, right?
You see what he did? He said, you see, I'm telling y'all what it is. So he keeps on placing that in the minds of the people as the blood of Christ, as a Hebrew. I'm just telling y'all what it is. So Kanye West, he clearly knows who we are as a people. Now the question is, can he use that information to help build not this kingdom, but the Most High's kingdom? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build the kingdom to come. And it seems as if the Most High has put this brother into position to be able to help us build that kingdom, right? Because it tells you in the book of Daniel that under the nose of this kingdom shall another kingdom arise, right? So could this be the setup for that? Could it be the setup for that? You know what I'm saying? Because I want to hear from y'all, man. Make sure y'all drop the comments, drop a comment below, man, and just see what y'all see. I want to hear what y'all think, what y'all thinking about this interview. Because I've seen y'all posting on Instagram. I've seen y'all posting. I just want to know what it is that you brothers and sisters is thinking about at this point in time, right? Because the interview was so much more deeper than him just saying that we're the children of Israel. He was also shedding light on a lot of the things that we need to look at as far as becoming a community, becoming sufficient. Even us not having a father figure in the home to teach us how to gain or how to grow as the next generation, and keeping what's called generational wealth flowing through our generations, right? Listen to this clip, man. Brilliant brother, man. Listen.
Like when I went to the White House, I said, this is me in a different dimension. Any one of us that can organize somebody, they ain't gonna take us down. They've been taking, the leaders and the fathers out of the community and only leave us with a hustler mentality, because you ain't got a dad that's showing you how to save money and what property to buy and how to build your own factories. We're gonna be jumping up and down for the idea of like Virgil getting a job for Bernard Arnault, or me getting a job at The Gap or Adidas. A lot of times it's like we all was born white supremacist, racist, and homophobic. That's the bottom. That's the baseline.
You see what he said? He said that he understand that they took the black fathers out of the household, and they don't, and that way we weren't taught about finances and economics, right? They strategically did that to us because why? They gotta keep us oppressed, because two kingdoms cannot rule at the same time. And he's shedding light on that, right? He's definitely shedding light on that. And he understood that as a black people, we don't have a black voice, because even our black leaders don't even speak for the black people. It's like they become these leaders and they forget that they were in the slums and ghettos too. Right? They forget. It's like they really forget that you're just like me, suffering the same curses that the Most High God said we would suffer. Listen to this soundbite. Look, I'm just trying to run through this because I don't want to talk. Because what he was saying, listen, we just got to listen to what this brother is saying. Listen to this.
The declaration of insanity is a form of censorship and control.
He said the declaration of insanity is a form of control. So according to this world or this society, to be viewed as something sane, that means you must be a part of their programming. So what happened if you don't want to be a part of their programming? What happened if you realize that their programming is against the very God that's destroying you? So now, if I choose to walk away from this society, you know what? I'm not celebrating Christmas. I'm not celebrating Thanksgiving. I'm not partaking in any of their holidays. I want to follow what God say do. To people, I'm going to seem like a crazy person. I'm going to seem insane because I'm not sane according to the standards of this world. So he's shedding light that in the eyes of the world, he will never be seen as something as sane. And that's a form of control. That's very deep. I don't know if any of y'all even caught that. But what he said, matter of fact, let me play it again.
You know, the Declaration of Insanity is a form of censorship and control.
The Declaration of Insanity or sanity is a form of marketing and control. Right? This brother is brilliant. Understanding that will never be seen or will never be viewed as the voice of reason. Because why? We didn't set up this economy. We didn't set up this system, right? So we got to be able to agree with this brother because it's obvious he is playing the game, but he is awoke, so to speak, right? And I believe that, only time will tell with this brother what he's really going to do. Listen to this next sound clip. I think this is the one I wanted.
Right. Everyone only thinks about themselves, especially our black leaders.
Right.
That's the sound clip I wanted to play. He said everybody thinks about themselves, and that's kind of true. Everybody is thinking about self. No one is really thinking about them, thinking about the next man or woman. He said everybody is thinking about themselves, especially our black leaders. Now, somebody tell me, do y'all think that's true? And what is so sad about our people, and this really bothers me, it truly does. They'll rather vote in a person that looks like them based upon the color of their skin and not even think to research or to look into what policies that black man or woman is going to put in place that will destroy their community. Let's talk about it, man. And this is exactly what he just said. He said our black politicians, they only thinking about themselves. Because if you're put in a position to help our people and you do 2 terms and you're in office and you don't do anything for the communities that you come out of, what was your real agenda? What were you really put in there for? Was it for our benefit or was it for our demise? We got to talk about that, man. We can't live in ignorance, man. And this brother is brilliant. And I'm telling you, people would say that brother is crazy. People will continue to say that man is insane. But listen to what he's saying, because he's pinpointing and he's talking about topics that most celebrities, most people of influence, most people of high status or money are afraid to talk about. Because why? You'll get canceled. And he was talking about that in his interview about the cancel culture, right? And he said he's above the cancel culture. That means he's at a certain point of his career where they can't really do anything to him that's gonna really affect him. You understand? And I understand that a lot of these up and coming celebrities, which is of our skin tone, black, African, so-called African Americans, right, who is coming up in the game, they're being very cautious of what they say and how they say it. But don't for 1 second believe that they don't know this information that this brother is saying. Because where is this information is being placed in? YouTube. And last I checked, you didn't have to pay for YouTube. YouTube is free, right? So the same way this brother has access to YouTube, all of our influential black people with money and status have that same access to the same platform to get the same information that you're getting right now. But it's a choice. People choose if they want to talk about a certain situation or if they choose not to talk about it. Some people don't want to get mixed in, don't want to be messy. But this walk of life is called to be messy, right? It's called to walk messy a little bit. Because why? Look at this. I'm going straight out of the Bible now. Right? Listen to this. I'm in Psalms 96. Right? It says this. It says, for the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. That's a true saying. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. So first and foremost, to come into this, we got to understand that no other God stands before ours. That's first and foremost. We got to understand that. And there is a call to action when you find out who this God is. Why am I saying that? Listen to this. Watch. Psalms 94:16. Listen to this. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? So that's the question that the Most High God was asking. And a lot of these people who come across this information, they're not willing to stand up for the Most High. We just got it. Let's call it what it is. If you have the information that could save millions of lives, but if you share it, it's going to cost your life, would you share that information? Got to be honest with yourself. So there is a call to action, right? With the people who get this information and find out who the God of all gods is, right? And you have to stand up for his standards. And what Kanye is saying, man, Kanye is not saying nothing that we don't know. I would say people who actually read the scriptures, right? Only we would know that information, right? But let's continue, man. Let's continue to see what this brother was talking about, man. Brilliant brother. Listen to this.
When white people say the word rapper, that is saying nigger. When you say it to me, you getting away with saying nigger.
Damn.
Oh, the rapper.
All right. Okay.
Oh, the rapper. Or like last night on the game, they had my face on the Chiron and on the screen and said, hip hop artist. Specifically, I was like, I got a PhD from the Art Institute of Chicago, from the most prestigious art school in the world.
Wow.
Could I at least be called an artist?
You hear what he said? He said, so it's basically what he's saying is that no matter how or whatever accolades you may have or prestigious degrees you may have, they still gonna view you as what he just said, a nigga. That's what he said, or a nigger, right? He said he feels as if when they call him a rapper, that like the new word for nigger is rapper now. So it's like when they call on us and they can only view us as rappers or as niggas. That's like, for him to think of that shows intelligence, man. That shows that he's looking at it in so much different ways. You know what I'm saying? And they're very cunning in how they use their words, right? And listen, but what he's saying is actually scriptural. And I know this brother was reading Deuteronomy 28 because look, he said the word rapper to him is synonymous as, you might as well just call me a nigger. It's like they don't even have enough they don't have enough integrity to just say he's also a PhD artist. They want to label him strictly just as you're nothing more than just a hip hop rapper, right? That's basically the highest scale we could reach in their eyes, basically. But look at this, man. Oh man, he said, by them just calling us or labeling us these terms, it goes right along with Bible prophecy, and this is exactly what he's saying. Them just labeling us as rappers or a nigger, it's basically Bible prophecy, what the Most High said would happen due to the curses, due to us not keeping his laws. Listen to this, Deuteronomy 28:37. And thou shalt become an astonishment. He said, the Most High said we're going to become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So that means no matter where we go on this earth, they're never going to recognize us based on our prestigious accolades or, what we want to be called, looked as. You're this is your name. This is your term. And no matter what pinnacle you reach, you will always be this name. That's Bible prophecy. That's Bible prophecy, man. This brother is brilliant, and he's articulating it in such a way that, it doesn't seem offensive, but it shows that, listen, I'm aware of what's going on. Don't think for 1 second that I'm not aware. And that's why I say this guy is very brilliant, because he don't have to step on nobody's feet to say what he want to say. He's expressing himself, right? But he's expressing himself the way the Most High is looking at it. That's beautiful, man. Look at this. Let's get the next sound bite, right?
The system tears us apart left and right.
Right.
Jay this way, Dane that way, Ye this way, Virgil that way.
Right.
We stronger together. We
Right.
impenetrable together.
I love
We
that
have
word,
to
even though
vote.
I don't know what it means. Impenetrable?
Impenetrable.
Yeah, you can't get through.
That.
You can't get through.
Impenetrable.
Yeah.
I'm using that one.
We have to vote as a block.
Yeah, and you see, I give him so much credit, because he had to go against a lot of diversion with Noriega trying to throw him off every time he makes a point. He said we are better together. He said the system focuses on us, or focuses on tearing us apart, putting one over the other. But he says that, what he's saying, he said that he understands that together, united, we are better, we are stronger. Christ actually said it. He said what? Christ said this. Christ said, can a kingdom divided stand? So if we're all divided, we can't stand together as one and become the majority. He is very intelligent, man. This brother, he knows what's going on, and he understands that we won't ever be anything unless we come together and unify ourselves first. But we got to put it into perspective. Yes, we're going to come together and unify, because we could all unify. But if I'm unified, if I'm saying we're going to come together, but I believe what I believe, and this brother is a Catholic, and the next brother is a Hindu. This next brother is a Buddhist. This next brother is in Islam. How are we gonna come together and unite under different ideologies? It is never going to work. That's still a kingdom divided. So we gotta all come together under one consensus. That's basically what he's saying. I'm not better than you are. You're not better than me. We're all in the same boat together. And if we realize that and put ourselves together, we become, by default, the majority. Look, listen to this soundbite. Listen to this. And he stated something that was so key. Listen to this. As far as coming together. Look.
Praise God. I appreciate that. When it's time to get free, the only way we're going to do it is by leverage and anchor. It's like the Jewish community is not the most people in America, but they understand how to collectively use their leverage to have a position that serves them.
He said, what? He said that we're not going to be free unless we pull our resources together. And he said something. He said the Jewish people, they're not the number one community in America, but what they're so efficient at is coming together and putting their resources together to become a threat, to become something. That's wisdom right there. And that's something that he's seen, him being in that industry, or, in that limelight, understanding and seeing how they work together as a community. Man, if we was just to listen to what he's saying, we would have more of an economical view of how this whole thing is. Yeah, we got to be able to use it. We got to be able to have a biblical view and also an economic view, because what runs this world? Money runs this world, right? But who's also allowing the world to be ran by the money? The Most High. So we got to have both aspects. We got to have two sides of the coin, right, to judge fairly. But man, that was a powerful statement that he said. And with that statement, right, that is showing me that, yes, he may not be fully in the truth, but he knows of truth. right? He understands who he is. He knows that he's a Hebrew. He knows that he's of the 12 tribes. He knows that the same blood that ran in Christ, that ran in Moses, runs in us. He knows these things, right? And he understands the obstacles that are against us as a people. And he's just shedding light on the things that we've been saying for years, we've been talking about. So now, the last statement, I want to close with his last statement, because his last statement is very powerful. Because, you know, sometimes we got to plant seeds. And you plant a seed, and hopefully one day that seed will grow, right? The scriptures tells us this: one man planteth, another man watereth, but the Most High God, he sends the increase, right? Listen to what he said. And this is why I say that Kanye West is not, he's not crazy and he's not lost. He knows exactly what he's doing. And the fact that he was able to come back to these same points, no matter what direction they were bringing him, right? No, like they were throwing him off with different questions, but he was able to come back to the same points. And he said this. He said one of these things. It wasn't his last statement, but it was a statement that he said within, you know, this interview. And I wanted to use it as his last closing statement. Listen to this.
After this interview, I possibly could be taken out. But the interview has happened, though, because I've infected y'all to think in the yay way.
You hear what he said? He understood that, first of all, he was putting his life on the line. And, listen, man, I could only go to the scripture for this, man. Listen to this. He said he was putting his life on the line. He said, after this interview, I could possibly be killed. What scripture I can lean on to that? John 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends. So he understood that he's taking a chance saying the information that he's saying right now. So this interview was actually deeper than we all could actually imagine. So he said he understood that after this interview, he could be killed, but he didn't care, because you know why? The interview was already out there. The message has already been sent out, and millions of people will hear that message. And he said, I've already infected the minds. I already placed them. And that's the beauty about it. We got to look at it like this. Once you implant something in the mind, it's hard to take it out. You can't unsee something or unhear something that you heard or that you've seen. So he's brilliant in the sense that, listen, I'm gonna lay it out on the line. I'm going to say what I got to say, whether they kill me or not. Because why? This information got to come. Christ said it himself. He said, unless this gospel of the kingdom is preached throughout the four corners of the earth, the end shall not come. So, you know, kudos to Kanye, man. Kudos to Kanye. Kudos to Kanye in that interview. And that interview was it was so brilliant. It was so well thought out and strategically placed. And the things that he was saying was so strategically placed in such a way that it was able to stay embedded in the minds of the viewers for years to come. And for the people who will fall upon that interview, man. So, yo, that was a great interview, man. So, you know, like I said, I'm not going to jump off the deep end and say Kanye West is in the truth. I believe that he knows of the truth, right? And it's only time will tell what he does with that truth. So, man, you know, praise the Most High for all things at the end of the day, right? And the work is still not finished. And I pray that, you know, hopefully, you know, the Most High uses him in such a way that he is effective, right? Where he can be used to bring more people into this. You never know how the Most High is gonna flip this. You know, the Most High at the end must be glorified, and he will. So, you know, that was a great show, man. It was a very eye-opener. Very eye-opening for those who probably have never heard this information, and very confirming for those who are already exposed to this information, right? But nonetheless, I really want to hear what you guys got to say about this interview, man. Please comment below on your thoughts of what you believe this interview was really about, man, and what you think this whole thing is about, man. I want to hear what you guys got to say. And once again, man, thank you for tuning in, man, and stay tuned. I'm going to be coming up with so much more. This episode was just, I just wanted to talk about it, man. Everybody was just out there talking, posting, and I purposely just didn't say nothing until today, right? Because I want to post this and I want everybody to see, like, yo, listen to what this brother's actually saying, right? He's not as crazy as we thought he was, man. So, hopefully he sees this interview or he sees this, this message and, he reach out. But, nonetheless, let the Most High be glorified through all of this work, right? Not me, but the Most High, right, in Christ. So thank you guys for coming in. I love you all. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tune in for the next episode and for the next things that I'm bringing out, man. Peace or shalom.